welcome to Cavan TV's News and Views, Ireland's first live web TV current news programme with over 2 million viewers worldwide, and we are on a web TV site near you. Good evening, my name is Anya Duffy and we bring the programme to you weekly on Fridays 7 to 8 Greenwich Mean Time. Each week we take a look at what is going on in the county and invite guests to chat live in the studio. If you have an event you want us to know about or an issue you would like discussed, please email us at drumlinmedia@gmail.com. So, anything interesting going on? Please do let us know. Well, what a week in politics, especially in the Cavan Monaghan constituency. Sean Conlon TD has left the Fine Gael party and is going for general election as an independent candidate, and Councillor Hughie McIlvany resigned from Fine Gael after 40 years of service, and that was over the issue of the Ergrid pylons. Well, what a week it has been for the IFA, and indeed it's not over yet. To discuss this week's in politics in studio we'll have John Wilson and Alan Mohan, so stay with me. And on a musical note we have a surprise for you. Let's have a look and see. I'd like to thank Martin Sheridan Photography Ballyborough, who has this fantastic backdrop behind me each week, and this week it is a sunset in Cavan this week. Thank you, Martin. I'd like to say hi to all the viewers who log on worldwide each week. We have an email this week from Kathleen Murphy in the Lower Bronx. 2 more weeks and she will be back in Ghana, and she's looking forward to it as this is her first time home in 8 years. You will be very welcome home, Kathleen. And also to the Brady sisters, Teresa and Ita from Rena in Ghana, who have gone all the way to Bronx to visit their brothers Martin and Terry, and yesterday for Thanksgiving. So if you want us to know any of your news out there anywhere in the world, when you're logging on, email us on drumlinmedia@gmail.com. Now a quick look at what is going on in the county this week. This week is this time of the year for drama, and this weekend Carrigallen has its one-act drama festival. It's on this Friday, Saturday and Sunday night with a Sunday showing at 2 o'clock. Doors are open at 8 o'clock and the admission is €10 per show or €25 for the whole weekend. In Muff, and that's near Kingscourt, there is a book launch. It's called Lock and Lay and Muff, and this is a local book with local songs, poems, heritage and folklore. Shane Connaughton will do the honours, and that's in Muff Primary School this Saturday, November the 28th at 8:15. And remember, we had a great interview with Shane Connaughton and Sean Doris about the closing of the Garda station in Red Hills. So you can go on and log on to Drumlin Media at Vimeo, and you can go in and see all of our past programmes at any time. Now in Belturbet you can go bowling on a Thursday night in the Good Store at the station at 8 o'clock. Male, female, all ages are welcome. So that's something new to do on the long dark winter evenings. And we had them in the studio last week. That's the Big Fight Night is on in Ballinya tonight at 8 o'clock in the community centre. Admission is €10, and that's to raise funds for the Ballinya Christmas tree lights. Yes, folks, this week we have a tractor run, and it's in Granard. Sunday, Granard Farmers Mart, gathering at 11 o'clock, and that's a fundraiser for Granard Christmas lights. Have you been to the County Museum yet in Ballyjamestuff? As always and ever, there are fantastic exhibitions on. Well done to the museum in Ballyjamestuff because they won an award at the Anglo-Celt Business and Tourism Awards. Yesterday, an exhibition of Father Brown's war photographs, and it's entitled War Photographs from the Front, was opening. Do go along, see that and much more in the museum in Ballyjamestuff. Cavan Crystal Hotel is the venue for the Psychic Health and Craft Fair this Sunday, 12 to 6, and fundraise will go to So Sad, so please do support. And tomorrow in Cavan, folks, we want to make you know that there are 2 book signings. Kieran Malooly, RTE's Midland correspondent, signs his book Back to the Future in Easton's at 12 noon. And the guy with the eye for detail, that's Francis Brennan, switches on the Cavan Town lights after the signing of his book, and his book is called Francis Brennan's Guide to Happiness. And that's at 3 o'clock in the Cronog bookshop. Cavan TV will be there, so do come along and have a chat with us, and we'll see you there. So, but right now, folks, I am going to pull the plug. Keegan, Aaron Quigley, Shani Shevlin, Christy McHugh, Emma Moore and Harry Smith. Guys, you look like you're climbing up the walls there at Easton's. Okay, come on. So tell me, where does Pull the Plug, where did you all come from, or how did you come about?
Well, I tell you, we're mixed all throughout Monaghan and Cavan. I'm originally from Cavan myself, but some of the boys that's from Monaghan is working in Cavan. So what happened was...
So are you related to the Mad Ass Band as well?
Seamus here is related to the...
No, the man that used to play with us, his brother plays the drums in the Mad Ass Mules.
Right, I knew there was a connection. Go on.
Yeah, so what happened was, I used to call the Harrys. Harry was a school friend of mine. And I'd go up to Harry and we played the button accordion together, and I'd maybe bring the guitar. And then we ended up having bits of sing-songs. So then Harry met Dave that works at the petrol station in Cavan.
That's where I met Dave as well.
There's
a guy down the petrol shop called Dave, yeah, go on.
So he introduced the pipes to us.
Yeah.
So then it went from the pipes then to Seamus on the banjo, to Christy on the guitar, and Aaron here on guitar. So what we do then is, it's not about drink or anything like that. We go from house to house and we sit in and have our sessions in the house, let it be a cup of tea or a hot whiskey. Probably makes no difference to us, you know what I mean? And then we've done pubs as well. So we went as far as Enniskeane, Ballybay, you know, Shercock.
Yeah.
Here, you know, and just local.
Great, and you have you do the few jigs and reels, and you also do a few songs as well.
We do sing-song as well.
And you all do different things, other things as well, apart from your own sessions, because I know David has got something, he's got something out on YouTube, haven't you, David?
There'll be, hopefully, Mon down, I done a recording of Old Holy Night.
With the uilleann pipes, how unique is this? Brilliant,
and
brilliant.
Sean Walsh, who's a brother of Brian Walsh that plays with the Mad Ass Mules, he was playing along with me.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll have it out Monday and it'll be on YouTube.
So what do we look for to get that on YouTube, David?
It's going to be titled Oh Holy Night.
Well,
Every child is a miracle, that's the title of it.
Okay, so we can look for that. Well done, guys. You have a great sound there with the accordion and everything. Did you do any stuff of your own? Did you do songs of your own or anything like that?
No, we just mostly do ballads and stuff like that, and of course we do a bit of pop music and all that kind of stuff. We it's what you call, we do it for everybody to enjoy. Not everybody likes ballads, but a lot of people like pop music and stuff like that. So anyone that comes along, even if they don't play music, we do get them to sing a song. And that, you know, we introduced everybody
kind of like a live
it.
mic sort of thing.
You know what I mean?
But I'm getting the feeling here. I'm thinking about the Mad Ass Mules and what Marty Moan has done with his song, bringing that kind of music. It's sort of an unusual mixture, a bit like your own. And also you have the Fuzzy Burgers as well, who can do anything from pop to this kind of music as well. And that's kind of unique. And I think it's unique to Cavan Monaghan. Am I right there?
Absolutely, yeah. It's all over Cavan and Monaghan mostly. You know, there's a lot of...
And it's really popular.
That's
young,
popular.
old love it. Yeah. So it's really, really unique. And I have to say too that David back there on the uilleann pipes, like the uilleann pipes is like a really hard instrument to accomplish.
Yeah, my father said at home they're hard to listen to too.
Well, okay, David, we're going to throw you on the spot now and just see what your father had to listen. Can you, if I say to you now, David, will you give me a blast or something there to hear how you are on the pipes? Go on.
Maybe slow way, maybe.
David.
Well done, fantastic, David, lovely. Really fantastic. I can see that taking off with Oh Holy Night would be absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Okay, so you come on there, Aaron. You're the youngest in the middle of all this. How do you get away? You're the baby of this, and you're the singer as well, aren't you?
So I do a wee bit here as well with Emma, you know, whatever songs, you know, just bash them out, you know.
Yeah. There's one thing, guys, I noticed, and what's that? Do you know ladies in the group?
No.
Are they not allowed, or is it just that happen that way?
Well, yeah, well, there is a girl that does play a bit of music with us as well, you know, Amy Keaton, and she's good on the guitar as well, and a good singer as well, you know.
So basically, any night you could have any different
night,
singers.
it doesn't matter.
That's great.
Mike Tyson could turn up.
Yeah.
Things like that, you know. So as we always say, everybody welcome. And the good thing about it is sometimes if you're playing in a band and you ask somebody up to sing, they don't like getting up in front of crowds. But if you're in a session, a sing-song session, everybody loves to sing, and it's completely different.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you go wrong or anything.
It's just we don't care.
And that's brilliant, and that'll actually give the singer or the musician or whatever more chance to join in and get used to performing in public.
Most of the places we went to, that I would say 9 out of 10 people that we called for a song all got up the song. Even some people come up and actually take the guitars or the instruments and can play. If they can play, we let them play. Isn't that right?
Okay, guys, so if anybody wanted to get you to play at a gig or anything like that, how would they track you down? They go to the petrol pump on the...
Aaron's father, he's the manager, he comes everywhere, you know.
Just look up the wanted list now.
Say the what?
The wanted list.
I know that. Or go to the petrol station on the Dublin Road and you get David there on a Thursday. I'm allowed to say that. Okay, well done. Have you got a song you want to finish off with, guys? What do you want? Do you want to do another? It's yours. Away you go. What would you like to do? Come on, show us how much enjoyment everybody gets out of it.
Shipping out,
and then night visiting song.
I can do the night visiting song. You know.
You've got so much you don't know what to pick. Go on, away you go.
One of Luke Kelly's maybe.
Yeah, away you go, guys.
Try it first and see you go. I must away now. I can no longer tarry. This morning's tempest I had to cross. I must be guided without a stumble into the arms I love the most. True love's dwelling, he knelt down gently upon a stone, and through her window he whispered lowly, is my true lover within at home? Wake up, wake up, love, it is thy own true lover. Wake up, love, and let me in, for I am tired of, and oh so weary. I'm more than drenched down to the skin. She's raised her up for her downs of pillow. She's raised her up and she led some in, and they were locked in each other's arms until that long night had passed and gone. And when that long night was past and over, and when the dark cloud began to roll, he's taking her hand and they kissed and parted, and he saddled and he mounted his horse and away they go. I must away now, I can no longer tarry. This morning's tempest I had to cross. I must be guided without a stumble
So are you bringing young people in along with this? You know, are young people learning the Elan pipes, for
More
example,
many
David?
around you.
You want more people to come in along. But how about learning the Elan pipes? How hard is it to get good lessons from a good instructor on the pipes there, David? Or where did you learn? Is it handed down from...
Eamon Curran and Monaghan.
Right.
Eamon would be fairly famous. He makes the Elan pipes as well. And only for Eamon, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
A very good friend, a very good mentor. And an all-round gentleman.
So if anybody wants to take up the pipes after they hear you playing tonight, that's where they go.
Deter them more than anything.
Well done, guys. I have to say thank you so much for coming into the studio tonight, guys. Pull the plug, you call yourselves, and each one of you here is a great musician. So I'd like to pull the plug. Now we're going to go for a break, but please do come back after the break, because we're going to have a look at what was going on in politics this week. So you're still watching Cavan TV's News and Views.
Cavan Crystal Hotel provides 4-star accommodation on the edge of Cavan town. Located conveniently on the Dublin Road, just 60 minutes away from Dublin. With 85 beautifully appointed bedrooms and a number of luxurious suites. We offer wedding packages. With our one wedding a day policy, we guarantee to make yours a special day. Enjoy a meal at our award-winning Opus One restaurant, or have a drink in the atrium or residence bars. Feeling energetic? You can work out in Zest Health and Fitness Club, or maybe pamper yourself and visit Utopia Health and Beauty Clinic, or Avita's Hair Salon, both located on site. Situated only 5 minutes from Cavan Town Centre and local amenities. Cavan Crystal Hotel. Gate.
And welcome back. You're watching Cavan's News and Views. Well, thanks to the guys, great bunch of musicians there. Pull the plug, they livened us up this evening. Well, my next guest is my political correspondent, really, John Wilson. John, thanks for coming in. And John, we won't keep you long because I know you're edging to get away to another gig at this evening.
Gig,
Heading off,
yeah,
so
gig,
another
yeah.
gig this evening.
Yeah,
Sorry, that's
meeting.
from the last guest, another meeting this evening. But John, wow, what a week in politics this week. Like even within our own Cavan Monaghan constituency there, you've got like Sean Conlon TD. It was really funny because the first thing I opened the Celt on Wednesday morning, and first thing that pops out was Sean Conlon, Fine Gael TD's, stuff.
Yeah.
And then to hear on the news, he broke the news on Shannonside Northern Sound that he quit Fine Gael and that he was going as an independent candidate.
Well, he's had his troubles with Fine Gael for some time now.
Yes,
And
he's had his own troubles as well, but I mean, we couldn't contact him this week. I tried to contact him this week and get his own version of stories, but there was no reply from any numbers, but we did try. Yes, he's been in the news recently, hasn't he? But we're not going to berate him now because he's not here to stand up for himself.
The people of Cavan Monaghan are very, very wise, and they will decide who they want to represent them in the Oireachtas after the next election. The one criticism
Was
I
he
have...
dropped from the Fine Gael ticket?
Well, that's up to Sean Conlon to answer. It's up to the Fine Gael organisation. But the one criticism I have of Sean Conlon, Deputy Conlon, is the fact that he voted to make it easier for the banks to evict people from their homes. That's the one major criticism I have of Mr. Conlon.
Okay, well, we'll see how the electorate deal with that. And of course, the whole thing that's blowing up, is blowing, if you pardon the pun down there, is the pylon situation. The Ergwit situation.
It's a very real issue for many people.
It is.
In
And
Cavan,
I hope
Monaghan
we
and
don't
Meath.
have another gas, where we had down in Mayo and all that before, where there were standoffs where people were trying to block the companies from going in and doing
And they were
their
proved
work.
right, because the Irish taxpayer will not benefit by 1 single cent from the gas
So could
field,
another situation
gas
like
field.
that arise?
Well, it should be it should be made very, very clear to this government that if they insist in attempting to install pylons where they're not wanted,
There will be resistance.
it should be made very, very clear that they'll be that they'll be obstructed field to field to field, and that message should go out very, very loud and clear to this government.
So that's what the meetings are saying down there, the public meetings.
Well,
are
I
saying.
mean, in relation to, people have gathered, people are very, very concerned, and have been a couple of very, very well attended meetings. But I mean, the message should go back very, very clearly. Now, I wasn't at the meetings myself, but the message should go back very, very clearly. As somebody who's been involved in the anti-water charges movement, the message should go back very, very clearly that if these pylons are not put underground, that the cost of putting them overground will be prohibitive, and that they should be obstructed. That the message should go back very, very clearly to the government, that the people will obstruct them field to field to field in Monaghan, Cavan and County Meath.
Okay, so that's where we have a little difficulty, where Hughie McAvaney, of course, we know is the councillor down there, and after 40 years
of long standing, actually 41 years.
41 years service, he has decided, and the headlines on the South this week was he was disgraced to be a member of Fine Gael because he berated Heather Humphreys and said that she would not meet him or come to any meetings. And she says that she has tried to facilitate that within reason. So it seems things are at loggerheads down there.
Councillor McIlvany has stated publicly on a number of occasions that he attempted to get a meeting with An Taoiseach, Mr. Kenny, and that he was snubbed. So that's...
Okay, well that's the politics we can't do anything about. Okay, that's what's happening, that's what's going on down there in Monaghan, and it's not going to be sorted anytime issue. They have
well, it affects Cavan also,
yes.
And it affects County Meath, the 3 counties. And it is a very, very serious issue. And the reality is, if the people don't want the pylons, then the pylons should not be installed.
Okay.
End of story.
No, okay, we'll leave it at that, John. We said we would discuss the week in politics. Also, we have the IFA debacle. And if you could give me just a brief timeline of when this started or how this broke the news.
Well, a man called Derek Dean raised serious issues over the last couple of months in relation to the payment that was being given to Pat Smith, the General Secretary of the IFA. And can I just say there's not just the IFA, that these difficulties, I think, are going to arise in many representative associations and unions.
Just want to stop you there, John. We had this before when we had the rehab, when we had Angela Cairns.
Yeah.
You know, we had this before. You would have thought that, you know, like people in similar positions as Pat Smith was would sort of try and make sure, you know, try to get themselves out of this tangle. But they didn't.
Well, we must make it clear that Pat Smith has done nothing illegal. I mean, he got the contract that he got from the Irish Farmers Association. But I'm not a member of the IFA, and I think as Joe Finnegan said in his radio programme a couple of days ago, it's none of my business and it's none of our business, it's up to the membership of the IFA. But I have spoken to several farmers over the last couple of days. Now, these people are struggling to survive. You know, there's many people, especially in urban Ireland, you know, think that once you have land, you have money.
But it's not what the IFA is for. It's to help farmers.
Well, it is to help farmers, but the thing is, what this mess has in common with other unions or representative associations is the fact that it's very, very obvious that they were totally detached from the ordinary farmers on the ground who were struggling to survive. I mean, the average, the annual income of many farmers is between 25 and 28,000 euro per year. I mean, the average industrial wage is somewhere in the region of 35,000. So you're talking many farmers are in serious trouble and have very great difficulty surviving.
That's what the IFA is there to.
That's what they were set up to do.
It's set up to do is to help farmers.
But what's also emerged over the last couple of days is the fact that Mr. Smith is allegedly not being paid as well as his predecessor. And this is going on for the last 15 years or so.
Well, it has hit the fan.
But there are other associations and unions. I mean, it's not just in the IFA. I mean, there are many other assosociations and representative organisations that are totally detached from the workers.
That's the question I was trying to ask. Like, seeing this has happened now, will these other organisations, we won't start bandying their names about now, will they not start tidying up this? Will they not?
There was a very prominent union representative was on radio a couple of days ago, and he was asked about his own pay packet, and he flatly refused to answer the question. And I think that's you know, this story is not going to die away now with the you know, if the IFA problem is sorted out. There are many other representative associations and unions who are totally detached from the membership that they are meant to be representing. Okay,
John. Just listening to the news coming out here this evening in the car, there is an increase again in homelessness on our streets.
Scandal. It's a crisis.
It is a crisis level.
It's a national scandal. And you know, when one thinks of homelessness, one thinks of people with addiction problems.
Well, yeah,
but we now have the new homeless. People who are working, who are holding down jobs, low paid employment, and they cannot afford rents.
People sleeping
in
their
scandal.
Because at the end of the month, their rent is up. They can't pay it anymore. They're out at the end of the month. That is a very frightening.
I spoke to a man as recently as yesterday who was sleeping in his car. I offered to bring him to Cavan, but he's trying to get alternative arrangement in Dublin. He's trying to make alternative arrangements in Dublin. This man is sleeping in his car at the moment. Okay. This is a man, a very, very well-educated, qualified man. He's unemployed at the moment. and he had whatever family circumstances a number of years ago. He suffered a breakdown of marriage. His marriage broke down. He is now living in his car. This is Father McVerry referred to this as a crisis. It is a very, very serious crisis.
And yet we're talking that we have to take in refugees from Syria.
I am the only declared candidate in this constituency who is totally opposed to the quota system for refugees and refugees.
You're opposed on the grounds of checking
well, a number of issues.
The issue is you don't know their background.
I'm not a Little Irelander for a start, but the reality is that Enda Kenny has been led around by the nose by Angela Merkel again. And can we just clarify this? Angela Merkel saw this crisis as an opportunity to benefit the German economy. Germany has the lowest birth rate in the world, 8.2 births per 1,000 inhabitants. It's the lowest in the world. So she turned on the green light. She made this problem much, much worse than it was. She invited everybody to come to Europe, and now.
Why do you think countries like Ireland has to follow suit?
Well, we don't have to follow suit. You see, that's the thing.
But he is.
We're an island nation. We can formulate our own policies. We have a proud record in humanitarian work going down the decades. In decades past. We should make up our own minds. First of all, we were going to take in 620 people. Then Angela Merkel says, "End the jump," and he says, "How high?"
I remember asking you in the last interview we had, John, and do we have an actual policy on situations like this about taking refugees?
We make it up as we go along.
And we make it up as we go along,
Correct.
and it seems we still are. Okay, I'm going to leave that.
But in relation to establishing the bona fides of potential refugees coming to Ireland, the reality is that at least 2 of the bombers in France had come in through Greece. We've sent a taxi service out. One of our naval ships is operating in the Mediterranean. Now it's very, very difficult. I mean, it's human nature. It's very, very difficult to see people in trouble, to see people drowning in the sea. But the reality is that we have now kind of assured Angela Merkel that we're going to take in the region of between.
Okay, John. You could be scaremongering
between refugees and family members in the region of between 18 and 20,000 people.
Okay. As you say,
and it's not going to end.
They cannot let the people drown in the sea. Okay, looking at headlines in the tabloids this week, Ireland could be under threat from ISIS.
Are you surprised? I'm not. No big surprise to me.
Okay, because of Shannon.
ISIS were created by Mr. Bush and Mr. Blair. They couldn't wait to get rid of Saddam Hussein and Colonel Gaddafi in Iraq and Libya, respectively. They couldn't wait. There were tyrants. Saddam Hussein was a tyrant. But if he was still in situ in Iraq, ISIS would not exist today.
Okay, President Hollande said he's going to do what he has to exterminate this.
Do what? Bomb.
But at least he said that.
The only way. Hold on. Bombing solves nothing. You're killing innocent people. The only way you're going to confront and take on ISIS, unfortunately, is toe to toe. Put troops on the ground. That's the only way you're going to beat them. The only way you're going to beat them.
So again, you have America.
The Americans and the British et al. Caused this mess.
Okay, so now
they caused this crisis.
Where does President Putin come in now? Vladimir Putin come in. He's not very happy.
He's supporting Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian.
He's not very happy now
president.
that Turkey has shot down one of his fighter jets.
And right, I mean, it was a despicable act. But that's in relation to. I mean, that's because he's supporting Bashar al-Assad in Syria. It was a very, very dangerous act, shooting down the Russian plane. Yeah. Very, very dangerous act that could very well escalate. Okay. Because we must remember that Russia is one of the most powerful armies on the planet.
Okay, now if you, like me, watch news coverage from all over the world.
I'm a news hound, yes.
Yes, okay, like I know you're a news hound. You watch CNN, all the, like maybe the American networks as well. And it depends on what station you're watching, what kind of news you get, doesn't it?
I get very angry. I mean, I avoid Fox News really as such because it's not.
It's so blatantly obvious.
Oh my God Almighty! The journalists are meant to be fair and balanced.
Within journalism, within media, there's it's not fair pickings at all, is it?
Oh God, no. But that's the problem with the American system. It's just. I mean, I think. And believe it or not, Sky News wanted to go down the same road, only they were stopped. They were told by the broadcasting authorities in England that they couldn't, that they had to remain fair and balanced, and they do a reasonably good job. But I think that you know, social media is social. You know, if you want the real truth, you have to go on social media.
Okay, right, John. I know you're in a hurry going off to another meeting now, but the last thing we're going to talk about tonight, and let's get talking about our own pockets here, and Black Friday. And we know I just learned this week where the culture or the custom of that came out. It was kind of like the shops gave the people a bit of a good time the next day after Thanksgiving. And of course now, you know, like Ireland and England and a few other countries like that have got on the black and have this Black Friday, and they're trying to get a bonanza for themselves. And really people don't realise that maybe like this is a thing just to think, let's spend a bit of money there. You think you're getting a good deal, but people actually could be spending money they don't really have, but they feel they should do it because they're getting such a bargain. It's not really a good idea, is it? For certain,
you're talking to the wrong man. But in relation to certain electrical items like TVs and whatever, there were some bargains to be had today, and I think
so. You have to know what you want, really.
Oh well, of course, yeah. But I mean,
okay.
You know, people planned. I mean, I'm the world's worst shopper, to be honest with you. I mean,
but there again, I'm looking at it from a sort of a practical point of view. People said, "Oh gosh, we'll just, you know, blow the credit card for this because, like, we get this telly and this, that, and we blow the credit card for this, and they're in debt, even though it's a bargain." That's what I'm saying. It's not, and that's not as good as it seems.
Well, no,
it's
I mean,
a poison chalice.
if you haven't planned in advance, I mean, people have got bargains today, and there's another couple of hours left to shop.
So if you were
today.
clever about it, you could go about it.
Yes,
okay.
But I mean, as I said, I mean, there's a lot of money spent at this time of the year. A lot of it on rubbish, basically.
Yeah,
you know.
well, we all know that about Christmas, and sadly we know that in January when we're paying off our debts. Okay, John, you're going to head off now. So
well, I'm okay,
Ireland for Christmas. I'm worried about the homeless people on the streets and the rising number of homeless people on the streets. We've had Michael Lockman in here several times talking about it. A great man. And Michael at the moment is doing the Christmas box for the homeless people. And if you know, like, please look out, go online, go on social media, and find out how you can make a donations. And it won't cost an arm and a leg to put something useful in the box. And Michael will make sure that it gets to the homeless people in Dublin. Great, Michael. But I'm afraid we're going to have more and more homeless people with the with the rise in rent, and they know accommodation. There actually isn't brick and mortar out there for people to rent. Well,
I believe in relation to the evictions, that I believe that Nelson Mandela brought in a policy in South Africa that if the banks evicted somebody from their property, that they had to provide replacement accommodation, and I think that's an idea we should consider here. I think it should be considered
seriously,
here.
John,
the evictions will. You mark my words. The evictions will slow down now until the election is over, and as soon as the election is over, if this government are returned, if you think you've seen evictions, you've seen nothing yet.
Okay, right. Doom and gloom. I'm going to get to you now, John. You are up for the next general election.
Well, I'm going forward as an independent candidate.
An independent candidate.
Yeah, see, Sean Conlon has now joined me. He's as a fellow independent candidate.
and Terry McAvaney as well.
Well, he's not going to go for the general election, but I mean,
he will.
But I'm just saying, to be honest with you, this is all new for me. I was an elected representative. I was a district representative for the Garda Representative Association for a number of years. I'm looking forward to it. I am a very bad salesman, but knocking on doors will be kind of difficult enough for me to do. I'm looking forward to the challenge, to be honest with you. And as I said, the people in Cavan are very, very wise, and I will accept their decision.
Okay, so let's just talk about the government. Fine Gael is quite unpopular at the moment because of their austerity measures. But then again, Fianna Fáil say they're not. If they get back in, they are not going to go in shaking the hands of Sinn Féin. So, what is the realistic possibility
I think
of a
that
government?
by listening to the mainstream media, you would imagine that Fine Gael were a shoe-in. I mean, 70% of the population don't want Fine Gael. They're on 30% in the polls at the moment. This government. Arrogance. They'll be remembered for their arrogance.
Did I read somewhere during the week that if we vote for Fine Gael, that they will reduce the US or give us more?
This is the temporary.
For the next budget, we will be assured of more.
The temporary little tax. The USC was meant to be a temporary little charge.
So realistically, taking your own hat off, forgetting about yourself. Obviously, the independents aren't going to be in government. What do you say? It's going to be it's going to be Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael.
Well, in relation to independence, I mean, if we get 80 independents could form the next government.
That's hard work for you, independents.
Listen, it's just it'll be a challenge, but We'll see. I think we're living in very interesting times, as they say. Very, very interesting election coming up. A lot of scaremongering that, if you vote for smaller parties or whatever, you'll have chaos. There are a lot of very, very bright people on the independent benches and in the smaller parties that are quite capable of formulating meaningful economic policies and other policies.
We've heard that about Ming Flanagan as well. He's clever and he's well able to speak up, but we don't hear much from him in Europe at the moment.
Well, check his Twitter account and his Facebook account and his contributions to the debates in the European Parliament. Ming Flanagan is a great politician. I'm sorry he left Ireland. I mean, I'd prefer if Luke Flanagan was still,
He'd be better on the ground,
here.
would he? Yeah.
Pardon?
He'd be better on the ground.
Well, no, I mean, it was his own choice to go. I mean, he got a fantastic vote. I miss him from the Dáil, to be honest with you. But you're going to have an awful lot of scaremongering. You're going to have, this word stability is going to be thrown around now an awful lot in the next few months. Now, I think that Micheál Martin refusing to coalesce, or kind of saying that he's not going to coalesce with anybody, or with Fine Gael or with Sinn Féin, they're now kind of softening their cough.
That's not realistic, is it?
It is. I think it's arrogance. I think they should wait until the Irish people decide who they want to elect into Dáil Éireann. There's now some talk that Fianna Fáil won't go into government with Fine Gael, but they may support them on a kind of support them on a vote-to-vote basis. Now that's coalition by any other by any other word. That's coalition. I think we need a political revolution in this country. We are approaching the centenary of the 1916 revolution. Pádraig Pearson, James Connolly, and the other leaders and the other people who gave their lives during the 1916 rebellion died for an Ireland of equals. They didn't die for the culture of cronyism, cute hoorism, and stroke politics that have blighted this country since independence.
We've moved on 100 years now, John, and this is what we've got. We're going to have a voice in the next election.
Within the next 3 months or so.
Do you think so? In 2016
months,
at least, anyway. And it'll be interesting. So watch this space, and we will be keeping an eye.
I'm sure you will cover it with your usual professionalism.
We will be keeping an ear to the ground on that. Okay, we're going to leave it at that for this week on Cavan News and Views. I'd like to say thanks to the guys in the studio, pull the plug, great fun, and to John as ever for coming in and enlightening us on plenty of issues, and we will be keeping an ear to the ground on that. And I'd like to say once again thanks to all the people from all over the world who log on and watch us on Cavan News and Views. So that's it, folk. That's it for this evening. It's the weekend, and do take care.